وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. O Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, you have summited the hill of impeccable character. Everybody had to say he is the best person, foe and friend, ally and adversary. And the truth be told, your goodness is measured by what your enemy says and not your friend. So the enemies were compelled to say that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the greatest human. Now listen to this. They would say the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, wal-'iyadhu billah, wal-'iyadhu billah, is a soothsayer, is a magician, is a fortune teller and whatever. And then when they have something to entrust valuable, they come and give it to him. This is documented, it's right across. Muslim authors or non-Muslim authors. So they would say the most nasty things about the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, yet the character of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam was so amazing that they would come and leave their valuables in the care of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. O Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, you have summited the hill of impeccable character. Often we find that a person is fairly dignified, fairly respectful, but if you provoke him, or you incite him, or you push him in a corner, and then he goes into defense, then oh boy, you see an ugly side of this man. Let him lose his temper, and then you see such an evil side of him that you simply cannot reconcile those words with that individual. In English they say, he who angers you conquers you. So there was a person who was a non-Muslim and he was a priest, Zayd bin Su'na. And then he said, I studied everything about the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And I said, no, this man is a prophet, there's no doubt. But I had my reservation on two things and I need clarity and transparency on it. Number one, that his forbearance and his perseverance surpasses his anger. And the more you provoke him, the more composed he is. The more you incite him, the more calculated he is. Zayd bin Su'na said, so I wanted to test him out. So I came out, the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam was with Ali radiallahu anhu. A villager came and he said, O Prophet of Allah, I've invited my nation to Islam and I told them prosperity will come your way, but adversity has fallen in their lap. Can you give me some money so I can help them? So the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, I don't have anything. He asked Ali radiallahu anhu said, I don't have. So I stepped forward, Zayd bin Su'na, who was not a Muslim at that time. I said, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, of course he was not a Muslim, but this was an exercise he was carrying out to study. I can give you money, and an agreement was made, X amount will be given and it will be paid on a date. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam agreed. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam took the money from him, gave it to the individual, and he said, distribute it amongst your people and give them hope and encouragement, etc. And the individual left. He said 2 days before the duration had lapsed, there were 2 more days of grace left for the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam to offset the debt. I came to him and I said, Yabna Abdil Muttalib, ma uriftum illa mutla. Oh, the grandson of Abdul Muttalib, you have not paid me my money. And you people are known to procrastinate when it comes to settling of debts. And Umar ibn al-Khattab radiyallahu anhu was sitting next to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Umar radiyallahu anhu's eyeballs were turning rapidly. And he said, oh enemy of Allah, are you literally blurting what you blurt into my Prophet? And the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Umar, ana wa huwa kunna ahwaj ila ghayri hadha. Umar, neither he nor me needed that response. We both could do with a different response. Wow. 2 days were still left. The duration had not lapsed. The Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam was being provoked. But look at the calmness. Umar, you should have told me, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik wa zid wa tahannan, recite durood and salawat on the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Umar, you could have told me to be more prompt in paying my due, and you could have told him, O Umar, that he must be more polite when asking his right. Now Umar, you take him and give him what I owe him and give an additional 20 dirhams in lieu of the harsh speech. Akhlaq. It was character that just broke through. In English they say, when you cannot change what's happening, then change the way you react to what's happening. That's where the power lies. Regardless of what people tell us, we're responsible for the manner in which we react. We can be bitter or better. As Umar is walking with this man, Zayd bin Sa'na says to Umar, you know me. Umar is like, I don't want to know you. That's not the actual words, of course. I'm paraphrasing. Like, the way you spoke to the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, you know the priest, Al-Hibr, that's me. So Umar radiallahu anhu said, but what drove you to speak to my Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam like this? So then he said, oh Umar, I did this to examine the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and I'm convinced that he is the Prophet of Allah. I make you my witness that I bring Iman, and half my wealth is charity in the path of Allah. It was character that just broke through. It just broke through. The stories are too many. I met a brother in Paris myself by the name of Ali. And he told me, Sheikh, you will never forget my surname. So I said, why? He said, because my surname is forget. He said, I took the Shahada. For 20 years, I prayed every day to Allah to give my mom hidayah, and I only displayed character to her. I never gave her active da'wah once. Every day I prayed to Allah and I used to just give her akhlaq, the character of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. At the age of 93 on her hospital bed, she called me 1 week before she passed away. He told it to me myself. 1 week before she passed away. And she said, Ali, I want to accept your faith and die like you. Character. I'll leave you on this note. We are more concerned about our reputation than our character. Reputation is the perception of others about us. Character is what we actually are. Reputation will get you married, but it takes character to keep you married. Reputation will get you employed, but it takes character to keep you employed. It's easier to impress the whole world than your spouse, but it's more important to impress your spouse than the whole world. Reputation is the perception of others about us. Character is what we are.